Hey guys, Aaron from the Ballpit here, back with another video. I'm bringing back tier lists. I haven't done one since my Pokemon type tier list, but I haven't been able to find the person who was doing the Pokemon type tier list, making them, deleted them all and made a bunch of other tier lists. So I'm not doing them anymore because I'm not putting in the work to make them myself. But instead, I found another tier list, which is Avatar: The Last Airbender characters. So the tier list on the side, I changed a couple of them, but it's relatively the same. There's my favorites, absolutely. My absolute favorites. I'm gonna change I love them to like just great characters. I'm gonna get rid of I like them, and then we have don't like, hate them, and then don't care. So these I'm going to be measuring based on how I view them pretty much as characters in the show, what they provide to the show. So let's just get right into it. So first of all, we have King Boomy. I think King Boomy is a great character. He's not one of my favorites. He's up there. I really like Boomy. He's just not that major of a character, so I can't really say he's one of my favorites, but I think he's great. I think he, especially when he's introduced in The King of Omashu, I think it's really a subversion of your expectations. And I think that every time he's in a scene or whatever else, I enjoy his presence. He's comic relief character to a T, but plays it straight in a lot of ways, which I think is really good. Great character, Boomy. All right, next we have Appa. Appa is one of my favorites. You could very easily make Appa... Sorry, there's people mowing their lawn across the street, and it's kind of loud. You could... If you're making the show, you could make Appa a shallow character. You could just make it like, oh, here's like a cute thing that we have literally just to sell merchandise, essentially. And a lot of shows would do that with their animal sidekick. Not Avatar. In Avatar, they actually make Appa like a fleshed out character with a personality. There's an entire episode dedicated to him. And I think Appa's a great character. I don't know how you could possibly hate on Appa. You just really can't. We're going to get a lot of some pretty high rankings, I think, here in the beginning. Because Sokka's probably my second or third favorite character. I think Sokka's great. Sokka, I definitely believe, was originally made to be the comic relief character, which a lot of cartoons are like, an ensemble-related shows will do. Have a comic relief character, but I like the fact that the comic relief character in this kids show is actually like fleshed out and is deeper than that. Like in the beginning seasons, you get to see Sokka work through his sexism. You get to see Sokka work through grief and loss when he loses Yue. You get to see Sokka struggle with the fact that he's with a group full of really powerful benders and he can't bend. You get to see Sokka go through multiple journeys. Actually he is a bender. He's the Riz Bender himself. But yeah, I just think Sokka's a great character. Zuko is possibly the best character. Not my favorite, but possibly the best character in terms of characters. His arc is... Everybody talks about it, and it's still not overrated. His arc is really well done. It's incredible that they created a villain that so easily could have fallen into just being like a stereotypical shallow villain. And the fact that he didn't is a huge testament to the writers on this. Might be a bit controversial. Toph, I'm going to put in great. Mostly because I think Toph could have been explored more in terms of some of her... like innermost stuff that we got going on. I know she shows up later because she shows up in season 2, but I feel like we could have done more with Toph. I understand it's hard because of the ensemble related cast, but I think there could be a little bit more. But Toph is, obviously great. I think they play off Toph being blind, having a disabled character in Avatar really well. Having realistic reason for her to still be as powerful as she is while also having her disability. I think that's really well done. Toph's a great character. Azula, I'm going to put an average. I like the cartoony villainy that Azula kind of is involved in. I think she's a good character. I like the dichotomy between her and Zuko and everything else, and I like her and her two friends, the girls, together. But I do think that Azula's ending is a little rushed to me. Like, the mental breakdown of Azula feels rushed and feels like it could have been done better, but they had to rush it for time, so it felt like it almost kind of came out of nowhere. The Cabbage Merchant, I mean, it's a decently funny gag. I'm gonna put it in average. I think it's a decently funny gag. I think it maybe appears a little too often, but it's a pretty funny gag, so I'll put it right in average. May, I'm actually gonna put in don't like. I just really don't like May's character. I think she's completely uninteresting. I think like the edgy kind of goth emo vibe she has, like, I think it was funny and interesting in the beginning, but I think we see too much of May in that role that it starts to lose kind of its impact in that regard. Zhao, I hate Zhao. I think Zhao is so shallow. He has no real personality traits other than arrogance. He's immediately shown to really not be powerful because Zuko beats him in the 3rd episode, and we watch Zuko get smacked around by the gang all of season 1, essentially. So Zhao, to me, never seemed really powerful. He seemed like he was only there just because for like political reasons. He didn't seem like he had a lot of depth to me. I think Zhao was a bad villain. Which is why it was good we had Zuko in season 1 to kind of offset it, so there's actually a good villain. Momo is, I'm gonna put average, yeah, because I do like Momo being around, but I feel like if Momo wasn't there in most episodes, it wouldn't really change that much, which I think is a good contender for average. Heibai, we don't really see Heibai that much. I'm gonna put Heibai at great. I think it's really funny seeing like the angry spirit being that massive black and white monster thing, and then it turns into the panda bear when it's like calm down. I think Heibai is fine for what we see. Who is this here? It's hard to see with these little pictures. Is this Zuko's mom? I think it's Zuko's mom. I'm going to put her in great because what we do see, through the flashbacks, I think it's obviously very impactful and weighing in how she interacts with Zuko and how important that was. But I do feel like she could have put a little more effort into doing the same with Azula. This is a Zulon, I believe. I don't care about a Zulon. I understand what he was there for, but like why we got those flashbacks to show the ruthlessness of Ozai and how he took power and what happened to Zuko's mom and everything. But a Zulon, personally, don't really care for. Aang is average. I think Aang is actually annoying sometimes, especially in season 1. And I find myself, when I'm watching Avatar, more looking forward to scenes and moments from side or support characters than I do from Aang. Ozai, I'm also going to put in average. He feels a bit like, I think he's a better villain than Zhao. More there's more in depth, less shallow, more to go off of. But at the same time, we just don't see enough of Ozai. I think with Ozai, our biggest problem is we are told, not shown. We're told so often about how powerful Ozai is, but we're never really shown how powerful Ozai is. The only example we get is when he instantly summons lightning for when he's attacking Zuko in the Day of Black Sun, and also with the comet. But with the comet, that's not really, we can't really include that because it's like boosted power, if that makes sense. Next we have Smellersby. Honestly, both Smellersby and Longshot I don't really care about. Same with Haru, actually. Actually, you know what? I don't like Haru. I'm gonna put him in negative rather than just don't care, because I feel like what am I trying to say here? I feel like with Haru, it just feels a little plain, if that makes sense. Oh wait, that's not. Yeah, that's Smellersby. The Duke's the small one, right? and then Pipsqueak's the big one, I believe. All right, sorry, getting my freedom fighters mixed up. I think Haru's a little plain. I don't think there's a lot of character traits going on with Haru. He seems like he just suffers from first season Avatar syndrome, to be honest. Then we have I forgot, Karuk, the Avatar. I don't care about, honestly, I'll put Yang Chen there too. When we're looking at it, like, if you're looking at a greater sense of the lore, you could put them somewhere else, but in terms of their inclusion in Avatar, The Last Airbender, the show, I think Don't Care is a pretty solid place for them. Suki is great. I think the fact that, I think it would be really easy to have made the Kyoshi Warriors just a one-off episode thing, or maybe they come back, but that we only know the Kyoshi Warriors as that. I think the fact that we actually get the leader of the Kyoshi Warriors, Suki, as like an in-depth character, and you get to see her and Sokka's relationship, which I feel is like a really cool relationship dynamic to show, in that Sokka starts as being very sexist and not viewing women as capable, and then he ends up getting with a woman who is more capable than him, to be honest. I think it's a good, and it's a good transition. I think it's a good relationship. I like Suki. And then we have, whatever this guy's name is. I know it's Sokka and Kantara's dad, but I don't remember his name. I'm so bad with names, bro. I'm gonna say average. No, I think he's a good character. Seeing his interactions with Sokka, and the way he apologized to Kantara and stuff, I do think he's a good character. Bato of the Water Tribe, though, next to Zhao. I have no reason for it. This is no reason. Completely gut check opinion. I just don't like Bato. Don't fuck with him. Zhong is great. I like the fact that Aang's first Fire Master is somebody who's like, what am I trying to say? Like, he's over firebending. Like, I don't know, he views it negatively in a sense. I think that's a really interesting way to look at it. Somebody that literally views firebending negatively, even though he's a firebender, just because of what he's seen and what he's done and everything. And that's a cool dynamic to introduce. Jet, I feel like people are really torn up on Jet. I don't like Jet. I think he's just a little too cocky for me. I just don't really like his character. This lady, whatever her name is, with the rat smelling thing, I think is great. For what we see, I mean, obviously, like, goth woman, that's kind of like, that's like, I'm a member of the goth women supporters fan club, so obviously, but also, I think for her inclusion, I think she leaves a very strong perception of her character for the very little we see. I don't like Gran. The only interactions we really get are in the beginning, and she's kind of boring. I don't like her. Katara, I'm going to say average. She kind of annoys me sometimes. I feel like it's kind of an Aang thing. Like, I view her and Aang on I always viewed, the way I view Avatar is Aang is the male lead and Katara is the female lead, and then everybody else are supporting characters. And in Avatar, I don't really view the leads as highly as I view supporting characters, as you can kind of see from here. Yue, I don't really like Yue. I think I think part of it is I wish that we actually got another episode in the first season that kind of expanded upon Sokka and Yue's relationship a little bit more. We could have gotten a little more out of Yue. But from what we do got, I just don't really like her as much. I think that they should have had another episode. But the thing is, I don't know what episode they could have taken out, essentially. Honestly, is the Great Divide in season 1, because that episode is the one you could have taken out. But if you're not, you could have taken out the Prison Break one with Haru, and it wouldn't have really done that much. Other than, I guess, that establishes like Katara's habit of trying to like do the right thing, even if it jeopardized the mission. Iroh is, I'm gonna put him up there. because Iroh's the best character. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. I think it's a very popular opinion. Iroh's the best character. I don't think there's really too many arguments that can be made about it. I feel like if anybody argues that Iroh isn't the best character, they still have to like low-key admit that he's one of the best characters. Ko the Face Stealer is fucking amazing. It's so weird, and I actually like its inclusion because like we get a little taste of the spirit world with Heibai, but it's mostly positive. I like the fact that with Ko, we just go, oh, so the spirit world is some weird shit. And I like that element of it. And I think it's a cool way of doing it. Like if you show emotion, he takes your face. And I also like whenever fantasy worlds have these very like concrete rule sets. Like Ko is like, I'll help you out. I'll give you the information you need. Just don't show emotion or I take your face. He follows those rules. And I think that's cool. We have Gyatso. Gyatso's awesome, bro. From what we get from just flashbacks and stuff, Monk Gyatso's the best. I love that guy, man. And you can see a lot of where Aang gets his kind of like airiness and sense of humor from. Sozin? I don't like Sozin at all. Like, he just seems very... is that Sozin? Or is that Roku? And that's Sozin. Well, actually, either way, we'll just put them both there. I just think it's like... I can't imagine from Sozin's perspective... Sorry for that cut. I had to go do stuff. All right. Who did I just put down? I'm sure I gave a logical explanation for why I put down the person that I did just put down. Now we have, what is it, Pakku? From the Northern Water Tribe. I'm going to say he's great. Here's why. I like... So a really big theme in the first season is sexism. In the fact that, you know, in the beginning of the show, I mean, the whole show starts off with Katara getting angry at Sokka for sexist remarks. And I like the idea of this whole journey being, part of it was influenced by Katara wanting to learn how to waterbend. She's the only bender in her tribe. And she wants to learn how to waterbend because she feels a connection with her culture and the element of water, essentially, and she wants to learn to be closer to it and her culture and everything else. And I think that's a good motivation for a character. And then for that journey of Katara, you know, she steals the waterbending scroll so she can, you know, learn how to better waterbend and be closer to it and learn more about the element. And she's constantly trying to learn how to waterbend through her travels. And then she gets to the North Pole to find a master to teach her and Aang, and the master says, no, I won't teach you because you're a woman. And I think the idea that her entire journey culminates to that moment, that climactic moment where she has to really come to terms with the socialization of women and bending in water tribe culture is really interesting arc. And I think Pakku actually coming around because he understands, well, not only that, but he's able to see the determination and the willpower of Katara, but also him seeing the necklace and him realizing he's been mistreating women and objectifying them. I do think that takes a little bit away from it, which is why it's not my favorites, that he didn't just realize that from Katara's own virtue that he should teach her, but I still think that the arc is really well done, especially for season 1 of Avatar. Now we hear, oh my god, I forgot his fucking name. God, I'm so bad with names. It's the brain damage. But the swordsman teacher is one of my favorites. I do think that this guy is one of the more important side characters. I think it's really important for Sokka's character arc, obviously, to have this guy being able to teach him how to use a sword. I think it's also important that he is revered and treated so well and considered a grandmaster and viewed as he's dangerous and important and everything else, because I think it's important that the only people who are capable in this universe aren't benders, right? I feel like in the show, just because we see Aang, who's obviously an airbending prodigy in the Avatar, Katara's a waterbending prodigy, Toph's an earthbending prodigy, Sokka can feel a little out of place sometimes because he can't do all that. And I think it's important to show that non-benders can still be completely capable. And then we have more of the members of the whatever the fuck Jet's little crew is called. I don't care about any of them, to be honest. Oh, this isn't Suki. What am I doing, bro? All right, let's put Suki. That's Kyoshi. Actually, Kyoshi has a little more to do than these two. So where am I going to put Kyoshi? I'm just going to put I don't like. I just don't really fuck with Kyoshi. Then we have bloodbending. Hama, or whatever. Hamas. I don't know. I don't remember what her name is. But I don't like her. I don't like... hot take. I don't like I don't like bloodbending. I think it really fucks with the power scaling of bending the elements. And I think it's a little too... Because then... So, like, if bloodbending's possible, can you airbend air out of somebody's, lungs and suffocate them? Can you... People have said, can you earthbend using the minerals in people's blood and in their bones, the iron in their bones and everything to bend people's bodies apart? Like, at what point... does it become too much? I just don't like bloodbending, and she's kind of the face of that, so get fucked. And then we have Ty Lee. Ty Lee is one of my favorites. I don't know why I like Ty Lee, and it's not like that. I don't like Ty Lee like some of the weird Rule 34 people like Ty Lee. I just like her character. I like the fact that she's so bouncy when paired next to like Azula and May, who are like the epitome of I'm having a bad time. Because May is just depressed, and Azula is trying to murder everybody and burn the world. And Ty Lee's just like, dude, I'm just trying to do flips, man. Like, I just like that. I like that dynamic. So yeah, this is my official Avatar: The Last Airbender character tier list. If you disagree, let me know in the comments which one is like greatly wrong. I don't know, I feel like the hottest take that I probably have here is that I don't like May. And I don't like bloodbending. I feel like those are probably the hottest takes there, and possibly Momo there. I feel like are probably the hottest, and Ty Lee being that high might be a hot take, and Toph being there. Whatever. I got a couple hot takes, but this is my opinion, and I don't care. But if you guys have a different opinion, let me know in the comments. I just like to see kind of where people are, where the people, like the greater public's, I guess, thoughts are on the characters. So just let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in and supporting the channel. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm tuning out. Stay safe, stay happy, stay well, do what you love. I don't know, all that kind of stuff. Bye.